And now it's time for In Real Cleveland. And I am your host. That's right, the host with the most, Doug Duke. I am back. And of course, I am here with Mr. Cleveland Film, the amazing Mike Wendt. Mike Wendt, how are we doing tonight?
Doing great, Doug. How was your fourth?
My fourth was excellent, honestly. It actually ended a little early because we're parents. But I had a blast. I got drunk way too early. Hung out at our friend's house and came home and obviously we watched I mean, it's the 4th of July. I think we all know what we're going to talk about here today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But first, we're gonna get into something else. See, I'm not even saying it yet. But anyway, before that, how was your fourth?
The fourth was it was funny. I went to two different parties and the first one I showed up with, I my friend who invited me sent me a text said like, hey, like almost everybody left already. And it was only 4 o'clock. So um and then we went to another one, which I'll discuss a little later, but that one also was like sparsely attended. And it's not, I don't think it's not like because of the hosts. Like the hosts were both amazing, but um our good buddy Rob Montague said, it was the awkward fourth for you. So it's like, was I the catalyst for the people leaving? Like they knew I was coming, so they're like, oh, I'm out.
Uh-oh,
No.
Mr. Cleveland Films here. We gotta
Yeah, we gotta go. But despite that, I had a great time at both parties, and thank you to the hosts. You know who you are, and it was great. It was nice, and even my wife came out, so that was nice too. So,
Nice, yeah. And sorry for us being cryptic, but we are going to get, I mean, I know the second party you went to and what you watched. So it's
oh yeah,
what we
oh
all
yeah,
should be watching for the fourth. But here's what I came up with this year.
yeah,
This year, I've watched this movie every year since this came. I've actually seen it 5 times, and I think it's been out 4 years. So I've watched it once a year. I
sure,
watched it twice the year it came out. But I was like, you know what? And it did come out at the end of July, towards the end of July in 22. It's Jordan Peele's third film. It's Nope. Um, I find this film to be a fucking masterpiece. I love it so much. And it really was the second. I mean, I loved it the first time. It was just like,
hmm
wow. Like what a blockbuster film and what a great idea. And then also like something it was very different, I thought, from Get Out and Us, which are excellent and I love, and I think those are also perfect movies for me.
yeah.
He's 3 for 3 for me. I love him. But Nope ends up being my favorite now. And the second time I went to the Arrow and they played the world premiere 70 millimeter print there.
Oof.
And they all were there. So like Jordan was there, Hoyt was there, and just like all of his partners. I mean, it was like, and just like his buddy that he's been, like a nerd with, like they just kind
Yeah.
of they've been doing this writing and creating all this shit, since they were younger. Um, and it was all like, I just, you know what I mean? Obviously, I know Jordan from comedy and obviously the show, and he was on Mad TV back in the day, and I think he's phenomenal in David Wayne's Wanderlust.
Yes.
Um, so really seeing him like up close like that, and just seeing the whole crew up there, they're such movie nerds, film nerds, and it was just so satisfying to the soul to hear them like talk about that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that second time on 70 millimeter, and I was like probably like third or fourth row, just taking it to the face, and it's just and it keeps hitting me each time now. Like even this viewing, right at the beginning, there's this very brief talk with Keith David and Daniel, father and son, and just their little piece of dialogue right there, especially obviously you need to see it. You're not really going to understand it the first time, but it's there. I mean, if you really picked up on it, but like immediately you're just like, boom, I'm in IMAX at
Yeah.
Universal, and I'm like, what's going on? What is this? What is Nope? What is everybody talking about? But I went like opening day or whatever. But anyway, this little talk that they have right there literally just says everything about their family dynamic, like who Keith David is, who Daniel is, the one that wakes up every day, gets the ranch going, and just like gets the wheels turning, and then Kiki, who's not there, and he literally like Keith David's like, "Where's your sister?" Which is gonna set up where obviously the tragedy happens, and like there goes Keith David sadly already in this movie.
Yeah.
But then Daniel's on set with the horse, and then like they're all ready to go. He's just like kind of getting pressured from everybody, the director, which is Oz Perkins, and
Yes.
and everybody's just like kind of pushing him. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, we're not ready." But he's so soft spoken because he's not the face. Kiki is,
Right.
and then like she's running late because she's just fucking whatever, doing her fucking thing. That's who she is. That's her hustle thing. But I just love that, man. Like I was just like, it just hit me. The opening of this movie, like that talk that him and Keith David have, I was like, oh my God, I was like, that's it. This is literally the whole movie. They're talking about the history of like their family and where they come from, and it really did seem like this movie did start from Jordan just seeing just falling in love with the image of the guy on the horse, which he relates to, like they're related. This was like their great 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 granddaddy, as I think she
Yeah.
does it. And then like Daniel's like, "Oh, another great." She's like, "Another great." But yeah, yeah, man, I'm just like I'm so in love with the movie. I just think it's like his deepest and richest of all of his characters too.
Hmm.
And there's yeah, it's just great. Like, yes, it's this big fucking summer blockbuster spectacle, but I think it's a phenomenal character study too. And I think it's one of the best movies of the decade, and let alone I think to me it's the best blockbuster still of this decade. And I know that says a lot because 2 months before it, I believe Top Gun Maverick opened, and don't get me wrong, that's a perfect fucking great blockbuster movie. But I don't know, it's like, and don't get, I have no qualms on Top Gun Maverick, but I just want to say like Nope's like just it just feels so fresh and original, even though it gets the Jaws in the sky kind of thing, and it kind of is, and obviously that's where we're going. But that anyway, oh man, all this long-winded shit I've been talking about, but like love this movie, think it's phenomenal. And then also I'm like I want to make this a around the 4th of July tradition,
Annual thing. Yeah.
annual thing. And that's why, so I watched it on Friday, July 3rd, and I was like, that's good because you know what's coming on the 4th.
Right. No, and
But
this is one I have not revisited as much as you have, but I did really think, this is his love letter to movie makers and also just like the people behind making these films. And that's one of the things that really spoke to me. I also just really love that the cinematographer character, like my God, like getting the shot, like that whole thing about getting that, and
yeah,
really like Kiki and um Daniel Kaluuya's just man, I know I talk about it a lot about chemistry in our short time of doing these,
it's
but
important.
my God, like their chemistry is so strong in this, and Kiki is just, I mean. I like she's got to get. I know, like, I mean, actually, she was so good in I Love Boosters, and
Yep.
I mean, even that the other film that she had like early last year. What the fuck was that called? Something about them days or something like that. But like, I mean,
Oh
she's
yeah.
just so good in everything that she is, but she was especially good in this film. And I feel like she was kind of sadly overlooked in the awards conversation. Actually, Nope itself was overlooked in the award conversation. I think it should have been considered in many categories, including Best Original Screenplay. But it's gosh, and even I haven't even like talked about, the scene with the monkey in the middle. Like I'm still waiting for that spin-off, I hope someday. Like Jordan, please make a movie. I know like you got one coming next year, but like I know it was supposed to come this year. Word is that I mean you hear rumors like I'm a big reader of World of Real, and there's been some articles, about him being angry about not getting weapons or something like that. but he is like a God-given talent of a filmmaker, and can't wait to see what he does next, honestly.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I can't wait either. And yeah, it sucks that like it hasn't happened yet, but when it happens, it's just gonna be awesome. I mean, I don't know what it is. We don't know what it is, but I'm all in on Jordan Peele. And again, man, when I sat there and just got to be right there and watch those guys talk and how like excited and just like
Yeah,
just like talking about the craft, it was awesome, man. It was a really special night to watch them just nerd out and just talk about a lot of technical stuff, and it was amazing. And Hoyt, like, so you're bringing up all these Oscar nominations, like where the fuck was it? They like created because they like actually shot most of that movie during the day, and it's all at
yeah,
night, and just like the shit they created to do that, and especially with some of the IMAX stuff, like it's unbelievable, man. It's really breathtaking stuff. And the graphics, like when that thing's fucking flying around in the sky,
yeah,
it's just awesome, man. It's just so thrilling, and especially when they opened up the full thing to the actual IMAX frame, and your whole fucking thing, and just like the way it just like kind of like in like low angles on Daniel, so you could like get the shot in the sky, and then there's graphics of just this thing floating in the clouds, and I don't know, man. It just works. It's seamless. I never look at that movie and look at the graphics, and you know what I mean. It doesn't take you out. It just seems
yeah.
perfect. Seems pretty perfect and flawless. It's such a phenomenally made technical film, as well as written, like you said. And yes, Kiki is absolutely incredible. She's just incredible. Just one of them days, by the way, I believe is
Yes,
what that.
that's it. That's it. Thank
But
you.
yeah, and she's just so fucking funny. Um, and yeah, and the new one, I love Boosters. But yeah, Kiki and Daniel Kaluuya, when they doing the fives, when they get, once they get Michael Wincott, who plays the cinematographer, he's incredible in this movie. That's what they do. Like, oh,
Yes.
we found the cinematographer that, runs on like a hand crank. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
all the UFO stuff, and I also love, and I think this threw some people off. I love that the UFO that we all just think this is a spaceship is actually the monster. I love that about the
Yes.
movie
Yes.
too. And I love how that thing just like eats people. And I mean, this iconic fucking shot of when it's just like over their house and it's just
Yeah.
raining blood on the house. Like, dude, man, this movie is just so good, man. I feel like we've already talked too much because we got other movies to talk about.
Right.
I could do. I'm like, oh shit, man, it's been 2 hours. I'm still talking about Nope. Um,
Well, the one thing I'll just say real quick, maybe to tie a bow on that, is just that with each of Peele's films, I distinctly remember having like these just really in-depth conversations with my wife afterwards, especially after Us. That was like we had so many theories of that movie, and I still feel like there's more that could be unpacked with that movie. That one, like I know is sometimes seen as maybe like the lesser of the three, but boy, like there was a lot to chew on from that film. But each of them are just
yeah,
oh God, he's such a talent.
yeah,
And
they're
yes,
great.
if
I,
next year we do get a movie from him, like clear my calendar. We're driving to Indianapolis. We're gonna do the 70 IMAX or
Abs-
whatever.
Absolutely, we are. And well, it's funny you say that about Us because I kind of feel like this is the one that kind of gets shitted on the most. It's really funny, man. We all went to New Orleans one year, and I watched Us. I just think for the second time on the plane on the way there. I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll just do this. And sure enough, I was just like, wow. And I was talking about it when we were like on the trip together with all my buddies, and my one buddy was just like, he's like, I didn't like it as much as Get Out, you know. And then I started doing so years later. I'm doing this now about Nope, where I'm like, oh man, I watched Nope for like the second and third time, and he goes, ah. He's like, it wasn't that good. He's like, I liked Us more. And I'm like, motherfucker.
What?
I was like, we got in this argument at the dungeon in New Orleans. I was like, I'm not lying. I remember this. And I was like, we got in this argument how you said you didn't like Us. He's like, no, what do you, and he literally was like, well, no, what are you talking about? He's like, I like Us. I was like, I could strangle you right now, Grayley. I'm gonna kill you. I was like, whatever. I was like, you know what? In 3 years, I bet you're gonna love Nope and you're not gonna like his new ones. But yeah, anyway, I mean, there's still more I could probably talk about. Like you said, the monkey in the middle, like that whole thing is absolutely incredible. And Yen, is that how you say it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that whole thing. I think that even has to deal more with. There's this quote at the beginning about being a bomb. I always fuck it up. My buddy even asked me, he's like, I was like, oh, dude, the quote also says it all. He's like, what's it say? I was like, I can't fucking remember. I was like, but it's a good quote. It's like talking about the abominable and the spectacle and like vile and like that's just like kind of like what happens and that's what Steven's character is doing in that. Like
Yes.
he was already a part of one and then and then he's like buying these horses to feed this thing and so he's just like you and he's using it to his advantage to make money and like that's how he's getting people to his shows and everything. So there's that. Again, this is exactly why his movies spark these like deeper things that you can keep
Yeah.
talking about. And he does it on purpose. That's what he loves about movies as well. So he's like, this is why he makes movies like this because you're gonna keep watching them and you're gonna keep talking about them, and that's what's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
But anyway, everybody do that. That's a fucking banger. That's a banger and a half, actually. Um, but anyway, that's about 20 minutes on Nope already, probably. Um, but let's move on. We all know, well, for the most part, I think it's pretty common that the 4th of July movie, and of course, they're just all conveniently right here. This is not where these movies are placed. Just a convenient right here. Look
Yes.
at that baby, the all-timer. As we know, it is Spielberg summer, baby.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just not a better, I mean, all time, right? Like,
We're
what's a
not
better
worthy.
movie?
We are not worthy. I swear to God.
You go ahead because let's talk about your second half of 4th of July.
Yeah, so my friends Adam and Kara White, shout out to the Cleveland filmmakers, and actually they're trying to get a movie made called Ghost Toilet. So be sure to check their Seed and Spark. They only have a couple days left on that, but they have an annual showing in their backyard, out in Twinsburg, and man, it's I look forward to it every year, and it's just Adam actually makes good old fashions as well. So
Uh-oh.
had had one to enjoy the movie, but Jaws, I think it gets every viewing, I get something new out of it, and it just rewards it with multiple viewings. And I especially, I've been saying this more and more each time I watch it. I love that first like 45 minutes where you are literally dropped in this town. You are almost every character has at least one line or two that is memorable. And you really feel a part of this whole community. And of course, then it gives way to that, the second half of the film, which is just a three-hander essentially, but I mean, you get probably arguably one of the best dialogue or one of the best monologues ever on film.
Yep. Yep.
And even though I've seen it so many times, each time I'm just consistently listening for certain things and watching like just the way how it was blocked and the way how it was shot. It's just it is a masterpiece, and and there's a reason why it will forever be that Fourth of July movie. No offense to Independence Day,
Yeah, which I
uh,
also love, but
but
come on now.
and I think even just you're holding that 4K, which I happen to have the Steelbook and just that version, but they did such a great job on that 4K. I gotta say, but I don't know. I'm rambling too much. How
No,
about you?
no.
Like, what's
It's
your
No, I wanted you to go, man. Like, that's I know that's one of yours and and like I even said at Disclosure Day, I was like, I feel like you guys are a little bit of Steven Spielberg heads more than me,
yeah.
but this is one of my all-time favorite films ever and it really uh, there was always this joke with like my dad when we were growing up. He's like, "Want to watch Jaws?" Because like it felt like every fucking day that we were watching Jaws. And then it was also just like it was just one of those TNT dad movies. So
Yes.
like so it was always on. It was like one, and it was like always a joke. He was like, "Hey, want to watch a movie?" He's like, "You want to watch Jaws?" And it was just like, "No, but it was like, yeah, but no, asshole." Like that's all we do. But so just seeing it so much, but there was definitely something, I don't know how long ago now, almost like 10 years ago or so, where there's just something that came back around in my 30s where I was just like boom and just so locked in. And it's like everything that you're saying, it's like as if I didn't know this movie enough like growing up. And but you're
Yeah.
right. I'm still catching new things. And obviously there's the infamous talk of the scars. Like that scene is
Yes.
incredible. But yeah, like everything that you said, I kind of want to jump back and like jump through that and start doing clip notes or whatever. But oh, yeah, the one thing that hit me on this showing, but also it always hits me as I just love this setup, like you're saying, and just how rich that is and how we meet everybody. It's just a stroke of fucking genius from a master. Um, but yeah, I was just kind of laughing the other night, and like I said, I was drinking during the day, and I came home and was having some more drinks
Yeah.
watching Jaws, but I'm just like having a ball watching it. But I'm just like, it's just like so insane that this whole movie is just like, exactly like it still depicts like our society perfectly of like how this all happens through politics, like through everything, through capitalism, period, right?
Yeah.
Like the show must go on. It doesn't matter, and you let this poor child die because nobody wants to shut down because this is the time where we make our money. And it just like, I just love that like the first half of this movie is just this character town stuff, you
Yeah.
know? And like all of this could be avoided if everybody wasn't a greedy fucking piece of shit. And I was just, yeah, exactly. Like it just kind of makes me giggle in a way. And not giggle because, of the tragedies, like, but just the storytelling, you're just
Yes.
as a film nerd, you're just like, this is so fucking brilliant. And then it's kind of like what everybody thinks it is. Because like that first half, when people talk about Jaws or whatever, they don't really like say that. Like a lot of people post the mayor, right? Is he a mayor?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
mayor.
like
Yeah.
they always post the mayor every year, and like, oh, we're staying open or whatever the meme
Yeah.
is. And like, I get it, that is a part of like what we're talking about. But for the most part, everybody just thinks of Jaws as like, killing the shark and the guys on the boat, right?
Yes.
Like that's what I feel like is the main consensus. And it like, don't get me wrong, absolutely, but
Yeah.
yeah, dude, there's this like other hour of all this other greatness, and that's just kind of was just like making me giggle as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, just like the other night. I was like, so fucking brilliant this movie, man. Just like how good this is, like, you know what I mean? Like you said, the tale of two halves, and then you get this three-hander with just three of the most phenomenal performances from
Mm,
Robert
mhm.
Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, and Roy
Roy
Schneider.
Scheider. Yeah.
Oh my God, all the R's, all the R's.
Yeah. Now, and I like one of the scenes that I don't know, almost makes me tear up each time I watch it is, obviously Roy Scheider's character has just had a pretty bad day because, Billy Kittner's mom slaps him in the face. But he sits down to eat dinner and his son is mimicking everything that he's doing from like every hand gesture and I don't know. There's something about it that gets me like choked
Oh,
up each time because it's just this sweet moment that he's able to share with his son, and knowing that this woman has just lost her son. There's like just such like kind of a deepness to that scene that really I don't know. I mean, I'm not a father, so I'm sure maybe it would hit you more as somebody who
yeah,
has a young
no,
boy,
no, it
but
does, but
it's such a it's such a great scene that shows the nuances. Like even some scene, like there's like these like little scenes with his wife, like you want to get drunk and screw, like like
yeah, I was
that,
gonna
like to
say it.
me,
I'm glad you did.
yeah. Like I love that. I mean, I love when the tiger shark is caught and that one guy He's like, "Oh, what?"
Yes.
What? I
Yes.
feel like if I was in, you know, if I was ever cast in a thing, I would probably get that, like, "Oh, what?" You know?
Well, now that we know that, we're gonna get you that part, buddy. That's perfect,
But
man. That's
but yeah,
funny.
that's what it makes it an all-timer because it's people can relate to these things. And then of course like the adventure of it all in that second half,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which is, I actually today there was something like a clip I saw kind of circulating on Instagram. It was a British newsreel of like going up and talking to people, and this guy comes out, he's just like, "How many times have you seen Jaws?" "9 times." And he talked about how horrible it is. I guess in England, maybe saying horrible it is means like it's horrible what's happening on the screen. But
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I love it. It was brilliant. It's brilliant. I've seen it 9 times."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can just only imagine what that was like when this was like the phenomenon of pop culture, and
Yeah.
it's
In
it
the in
deserves
the
credit.
ultimate like first technical blockbuster of all time,
Yeah,
and then a couple years later, it's Star Wars, and then and then everything changed. uh,
yeah,
for real. For better or worse, I would say worse in a way.
yeah,
uh, yeah, that's not to knock these at all, and especially Jaws, which again is just a perfect masterpiece. But yeah, but that's what's awesome about Jaws is it is not just the shark movie. It is a human
Mhm.
film, phenomenal characters, so many layers, so much depth. And like you said, like you bring such a huge big world, you open up in this and the world building, and then yes, and then it becomes this like three guys going to kill a shark, which is just like, oh.
Yeah,
And then it also it just that made me just think of fucking Zizou, Life Aquatic, where
yeah.
he's like, well, I'm gonna have an overnight drunk, and he's like, and then we're gonna get our crew together and go kill this shark. They're like, for what? He's like, revenge. But yeah, man, like just those three again, those three in the boat, the action adventure that it becomes, it's just still to this day, there's nothing greater. And the movie that we just brought up before it, and obviously there's a lot of inspiration, and he loves Jaws and just Spielberg in general, Jordan Peele. Everybody will tell you, man, like everybody knows, especially all the film, like Jaws is. It's still the one. It's still one of the ones all time, forever.
Yeah.
So good. And what, this is technically the 51st year, right? Last year was 50.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I often cite that E.T. is my favorite movie of all time, I don't know, like each time I watch Jaws, it almost kind of become it might dethrone it. I don't know. I don't know. But
It's
it's
Hey man, yeah, whatever, man. That's a Sophie's choice. You
right.
can you you can do whatever you want with yourself with that one. But yeah, yeah, I understand. They're both great, and it's so hard. And like I said, when we were talking about Duel, uh, it's just 70s Spielberg though. There's just something real, so
Oof.
that grabs me. I think the most, even though there's so many. I mean, Raiders and Temple was the one when I was a kid that I watched probably the most. But then now I just feel like I don't know. I think Last Crusade's my favorite. But anyway, see, here we go, man. Still talking about new things on Steven Spielberg as if we haven't talked about him enough in the last few weeks. But anyway, I think it's safe to say that we were both I don't know, 25 million stars out of five
Oh
on
God, yes.
Jaws.
Yes. No. They're infinite, infinite stars.
This is a good double right there. Everybody, start making that maybe part of your 4th of July traditions.
Yes.
And that well, first, I guess we're done with Jaws. I'm sorry, everybody. First, let's get to hey, I already did a little shorty on it, but you went to go see Jackass. Best and last yesterday.
Yeah, usually I want to catch at least one movie a weekend, and it was kind of a packed weekend, but I noticed like Sunday night didn't really have much going on, so I traveled over to the a theater that I don't go to. I only go mostly for the Short Sweet Film Festival. It's the Shaker Square Atlas, and caught it there. And actually, when I bought the ticket, the manager was kind of like, I think he was almost not mad, but like he was like, "Oh shit, I was gonna like not have to play that, but now you're the only person in the theater." But to his credit, he did not play any trailers. It just went straight into the movie. So
Nice.
I'm somewhat thankful for that because, that saves me at least 20-30 minutes. Um,
No, it's fucking
but
ridiculous.
but yeah, kind of to echo a lot of what you were that you talked about. I mean, something about this Jackass series. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Ooh. Can we
Yep,
edit those out?
we're keeping that.
Oh, oh. No, something about this Jackass series. I remember seeing the first one freshman year of college. you know, Pretty much everybody on the floor went to go see it, had a great time. But somewhere along the way, like there's something about these films that just became so poignant and like deep in a way, where I was getting emotional towards the end of this film. And it's essentially like a best of clip reel movie, but
Right.
you do get these new things. But that stuff with the robot, my God, like whoever the guy who was like the narrator of the robot, like
Oh, Adam
Oscar
Ray.
nominee.
Adam, Adam Ray's hilarious. He does Dr. Phil, and
Yeah.
he's really good as when he does Joe Biden too. That guy's really fucking funny.
So, like right off the bat, we get Steve-O getting a prostate exam by this thing with peanut butter up his ass. Um,
Yeah, right. That's
but
what I mean. Like, so that's a new piece. And I mean it, like you said though, it is in the title though. It's best and last. So you are getting kind of like a clip show but I mean, in a way, if that's how they're gonna end it, it kind of does deserve that in a way. And I do love that they did show you some like unseen things
yes,
and then they would show you like, oh well, I mean, this is an all-timer, so you should probably check this out again.
oh my God, and like I mean, that unseen clip where spoilers, I guess, but like him like shooting himself with a gun, like holy moly,
I
like.
I know, dude.
But I need to backtrack real quick in my text, but there was one thing that I know I sent to you because there was one piece that made me laugh so hard, and it was, oh my God, the human pretzel. Um, oh my God. And that's a great thing. I mean, empty theater, and part of me could have I could have just sat there and never emoted, and I would have still been content. But I was definitely laughing my ass off during that. But it just watching Johnny Knoxville definitely like feel the appreciation for all of the like basically the family that he has with this. And
Yeah.
you see a lot of the director Jeff Tremaine in there. You get a few couple quick glimpses of Spike Jones.
Mhm.
But for me being obviously a Cleveland person, seeing all the clips of Ryan Dunn made me feel you
Oh yeah.
that hit. And but really it was just such a breeze. I mean, it flew by. It was
Yeah.
basically 85 minutes, and then you had a really long credit sequence. But if it's still around you where it is, I mean, I would say bring some friends, have a great time. Maybe go to a matinee, but it is
It's
seriously,
awesome, man.
it's a
Like
good time.
everything those guys built is so special, and that's why I think you get emotional. And I said in even the shorty thing that I did, like this works for me better when they're older. Like I love the last one so much. Like I
Yeah.
like them. I was watching Big Brother shit before it was Jackass, so like I saw Johnny like getting tased and then also taking another gunshot with before the thing that they show you in this one, or I mean after, I mean, the one that they show you at the beginning of this movie is like really what started everything. But
Yeah.
then there's one where he's in a backyard getting all these tasers, and then he gets shot in a bulletproof vest and everything. Like I remember that on the Big Brother video and the CKY videos too, because like Bam and them were on there.
Mhm.
So I remember like watching all that too. And then when the movie came out, it was just like so popular and everybody loved it. So I was like kind of being like like I don't know if it's like a hipster, curmudgeon hipster or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck I
yeah.
thought I was. And I don't think I thought I was a hipster in the early 2000s, but I still liked it. I obviously saw all of them in the movie theater.
Yeah.
But there was just something about Forever that when me and Kelsey went in 22 that we're like, oh, like had a couple beers. We're sitting there wiping some tears that by the end of it. And I was like, that was absolutely beautiful. Like, it's just like this, it really is um, just like this spectacular homage to friendship, really, or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
like this. It's just like this. It's just all about friendship, and that's all that matters. And then you feel, you know what I mean? Like you got your buds and those guys because we've been here with them forever now, that they feel like your friends. And then like you said, I mean, I'm sitting right here in Medina, Ohio, so that's where Ryan Dunn was born. So
Yeah.
we got that special connection to that dude. Um, but yeah,
It's
and
like
then
they hit each other in the nuts so much. But and like you would think that somebody, they would take that as a huge offense, but they're always like just laughing so much about it. Even the people who get hit in the nuts are ultimately, keeling over because they're laughing so hard. So it's like it's never mean-spirited.
yeah,
It's just friends razzing each other
yeah.
and there's something beautiful about
Yeah. And
it.
we used to do shit like that too around here growing up and doing shit in public and recording it. Like
Yeah.
I did it with TJ. Like we all used to fuck around here in Medina, as well as they did. But man, just great. And just Johnny Knoxville with gray hair or white hair is just something. I mean, he looks like Jamie Lee Curtis, and he's also got like he became like a Steve Martin thing with that hair or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something special and it's really cool. And I really did love the opening title sequence when they're like
Yes.
they got like the revolving or like like the floor, the moving floor.
Jamiroquai.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that a lot. All right. Uh Jackass Best and Last. You should definitely go have some fun with your friends.
Mhm.
Even if nobody wants to go with you, do what Mike did. Go by
Yeah.
yourself because you're still hanging out with your friends right there and it's a blast.
Yeah.
Um all right. Last night to end, well, we're gonna cap off our episode here. I watched for the first time in God knows how long. And this is a movie that I was there opening weekend, if not day. And I literally went right up the road to the Brunswick Hickory Ridge 8 to see this. The Sandlot,
Yes.
everybody. Uh I mean, I was looking this up because we were talking about other the kids sports movies of the era.
Yeah.
Um so I was looking this up and this actually came out in April, which I technically still would have been 10, but by July I would have been 11. But this is such a perfect 10 to 11-year-old movie that watched religiously, all the time. Like God, I at least probably saw it twice in theaters, and then just like when it came out, you rented it, you rented it, you rented it.
Oh yeah.
I definitely owned it. I don't now, and that needs to change. I'm sure maybe hopefully there's a 4K at this point. I mean, because that's such an all-timer.
Yes.
But yeah, I hadn't seen it in a very long time, and man, does that movie hit different in your 40s. Like
Yes.
if you do not cry when Benny the Jet Rodriguez steals home for the Dodgers at the end of this movie,
Yes.
you have no soul.
Yeah.
I knew it too. I was like, what? I was like, That's how long it had been. I go, how does this movie end again? I was like, it's going to make me cry. That I'm going to like
Yeah.
remember. It's going to get emotional. But right off the bat, I mean, they're just kind of doing the Stand By Me thing or whatever you want, the coming of age thing. But like literally, someone's already they're telling you the story, and you already see him at the beginning, like and what we end up learning is he's an announcer now. Like he's just like walking to the or getting to work is basically what he's doing. He's
Yes.
like entering the stadium but yeah, and then you just go back and it's just perfectly encapsulates you growing up with your friends. It's exactly what we did. It wasn't just baseball for us. It played a little bit, but it was mostly we were basketball kids. But we literally would just go to our elementary school and play basketball on the week, Saturdays. It's like we'd wake up. I mean, obviously there was still video games involved with what we did, but
Yeah.
we even after school, we would go back to school and play basketball. And like that lasted to whatever. And then obviously when we got older, we started playing at other courts or whatever. But that was such me growing up at that age, like just from like fifth grade, or maybe it even started in like briefly in fourth grade, but like fifth, sixth grade, like every day we were just hanging out like that at the
Yeah.
basketball court, but also had baseball there. And but it was mostly we played basketball. There was some football too, but just like how that nails all of that and just growing up like like the best time of your life, how you kind of just learn everything in this world, really
Yes.
hanging out with your buds, growing up, being a fucking dumbass, uh but all yeah, man, it just all just hit me perfectly rewatching it again last night, and I was just like, what a perfect fucking movie, really. It really is. It's a perfect fucking coming of age movie, and I do love, and Stand By Me is also one of my favorite movies, so I just love the reflection, just talking about,
Yeah.
how you became who you are, really.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing this in the theater as well. I saw it at Ridge Park Square, in Parma there. And it's something that, yeah, I rewatch at least once a year. I know it's my 5-year-old nephew, it's one of his favorite movies. So my sister has
Love it.
texted me that a couple times. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm proud. But there's something about it. I think especially, talking about July 4th. I mean, I think that's like one of the best July 4th scenes captured on film. Just hearing you know, America the Beautiful, that rendition of it. And just the way how this film is shot, almost is shot in the style of a 60s movie. I mean, it was shot like, CinemaScope, where a lot of like kids movies or quote unquote kids movies are not shot CinemaScope. But you can just tell like in the way how certain scenes were filmed, like they probably had some vintage glass. Um, and sometimes, like, when watching kids movies, like the kid actors are not great, but I feel like these ones, they had just such a good chemistry, camaraderie, and memorable. Where some of them are, just not super good. But
Yeah,
it's
no.
great that I still see you still see some of those actors now showing up in things. You know, uh, the Great Hambino, or like I
Yeah,
see him in a bunch of commercials lately, which is
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. Um, but yeah, it's just such a special film, and where I feel like now if something like that were to come out, it would be too maybe geared towards children, that like somewhere along the line in the last 30 years or so, like we've lost this ability to make something that appeals to both children and adults at the same time. I don't know why that is. Could be overprotective parents or something, or
Yeah, yeah.
just maybe studio heads who just think way too much about this stuff. But that is just that movie that you can show to almost any age range, and like, I don't think you'll see many complaints.
Yeah, I no, but yeah, everything you're saying, that's why I say it's a perfect film. It's not, you know what I mean? It doesn't just play to the kid thing. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
and it is, and it's still PG. They drop some shits in that movie,
Yeah.
maybe some other thing, but yeah, it just doesn't, yeah, it doesn't feel placated to either. And like you said, it works for both. I think that was the best way to say it. It's great, man. It's perfect. And then since we brought up like the era of that, like so that came out like I think it's at April 7th, and then literally July 7th, Rookie of the Year comes out. So
Yes.
same fucking year, like literally just handful of months apart. Um
Yeah.
and I love that movie too. And Daniel Stern directed that, and obviously he's
Yes.
in.
And John
It's a great,
Candy, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great John Candy cameo, and isn't Busey in that too? I think, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Busey's
yeah.
the
I love
crusty veteran.
Rookie of the Year is fun, but it's like it's just an outlandish like kid breaks his arm, like, but whatever. That's what that is, and that's fine, and it's fine to be that, and that's why I think that movie, I think even still, I haven't watched it in a while, but I want to now because I bet it's just a
Yeah.
fucking good, it's just a good time, and I'm Daniel Stern's amazing, he's fucking hilarious, but yeah, but. I mean, Sandlot is the PG Stand By Me, right? Like
Yes.
basically,
Yes. Yeah.
that's all about baseball, just like that time in the Sandlot. It's just perfect, man. Such a
And
perfect,
inspired
perfect.
casting of James Earl Jones,
Yeah,
just a few years removed from Field of Dreams, like, delivering that like
yeah.
another great monologue, but getting him to be the neighbor is like chef's kiss, like,
I know.
like perfect.
So good, man. So good. And when that kid kisses Wendy
Wendy
Peppercorn.
Peppercorn, yeah.
God, dude, what a scene. And I was like, uh-oh, I was like, this is gonna be one of those things that people probably talk about now where it doesn't age well. But no, they're all like, no, he did a really shitty thing. And like, but in the end, they end up being married and have 9 kids.
She was at one of the cons here, and I was kind of running out of money, so I didn't like go over to her, but I saw her from a distance, and she still looks she still looks very good. So
Nice. Um, yeah, man, just awesome. Like that era, we were very lucky because, like you said, they don't, and especially now too. Like whatever, the same director. I think even I never even seen The Sandlot too, but it is the same director, and like even that wasn't that
Yes.
far away. It's probably terrible. Um, but like yeah, if they even tried to make something like this now, first of all, it's gonna look like shit because then I hate the people, like, don't get me wrong, there's certain people that can shoot on digital and emulate something to actually make it look like the time.
Yeah.
But that's not what this would be in today's day and age. They would just get somebody and it would just suck and it would just look like shit. It would be so fake. It would just be so overblown and so fucking colors where you look at this movie in 1993 that they made about that time back then and
Yeah.
you don't question that at all. Like you feel like you're there. Uh, and it's such God, man. And then like that era has like the Mighty Ducks movies.
Yep.
It has I mean, what else were we talking about?
Little
Like
Big League,
Little Big League and Rookie of the Year and Little
Angels in the
Giants,
Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield. I mean, yeah, there was a hell of a run there, just 93 to 94 of just like
Yeah.
four kids baseball movies.
Yeah.
But The Sandlot is the one that stands the test of time and is just, I mean, honestly, man, that was a masterpiece watching that last night. I was like, what a perfect fucking movie. I can't wait to show my kid when he can
Yes.
sit down and like take in movies instead of, Pee Wee and Miss Rachel talking to him and shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do it. That's our Fourth of July weekend recap, and all of these Fourth of July movies that we watch. And you know what? Jackass counts. They put fireworks in their ass.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that is one thing I wanted to ask you. Like, what off the top of your head, because I didn't even like look it up. Like, what's some other like Independence Day movies? Obviously, Independence Day. I think
Uh,
Blowout, right?
yes.
That's
Blowout.
a masterpiece too. Ooh, yeah, I need to add
Uh,
that.
is no, I keep thinking like is Animal House like at the end when they have that parade. That's not Fourth of July. It just,
No, I haven't seen that in a while.
oh my God.
Yeah.
All is well. All is well. But there's really, you're right. There's not a ton of Fourth of July movies. It's like maybe there's a scene of Fourth of July,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
because I
not
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say Click has a Fourth of July
Oh,
like
right,
scene,
right,
but that
right.
kind of goes, that goes into the future. That goes
I think I don't know. I think one of the Legally Blonde movies like has a Fourth of July quote, like you look like the Fourth of July, it makes me want a hot dog. But that's the only, I don't know. I'm sure like
Uh,
after we hang up, I'll look up and there's like a whole list of things that
yeah.
I can't even remember. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, we did it, man. Fourth of July, 250. We did Talladega last week, which I think, well, that's the other thing. I feel like some of these other movies just kind of like, oh, well, Talladega is actually a good thing to watch. I actually watched that last Fourth of July, uh,
Yeah.
as well as Jaws. But yeah, I feel like there's these other adjacent ones, and I've kind of put Nope in there just kind of because of its like connection with Jaws in a way, and it's like a summer blockbuster. Nashville would probably be a good like
Yes.
American kind of thing for like summertime movie to watch, stuff like that. I have definitely watched Click around the time too, and I did
Usually
this
there's
one
a
year.
Oh,
What?
sorry. I was like, there's usually a Rocky Marathon on Fourth of July, so I sometimes
Ooh,
equate those
yeah.
movies with Fourth of July. But even though they mostly all take place like around Thanksgiving or Christmas.
When you said Legally Blonde, at first I thought you were going to say A League of Their Own. I was like, is there a Fourth of July in League of Their Own? I was just going to say yeah.
Oh, there might be
There
because
might be, right?
there's a scene where they watch fireworks.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll get on a tangent, but like I always say, like one of the best montage scenes is like when in Legally or League of Their Own when they start getting good. Like that is like one of the it's such a good montage. Oh God.
God, yeah.
Um,
We're gonna
yeah.
have to watch. I
That movie
love.
I need to rewatch. Yeah, it's
Yes, that movie is a
God, it's so
fucking
good.
masterpiece, man. And we like made by Penny Marshall. I mean, all the women in that movie. When we always want to like, well, I feel like we need to showcase that movie. We just put that movie in theaters all the time when we want to push the female directors thing. Like
Yes.
Penny Marshall's League of Their Own is a absolute masterpiece, man. I love that movie. And Gina Davis, dude. I mean, one of the biggest, greatest actors, just biggest badasses ever. Like I love her so much. And Lori
Maybe
Petty, and
one of
obviously
Tom Hanks's best performances, I think. Easily
absolutely.
John Lovitz's best film performance, I think.
God, he's so good.
Maybe I don't know. You can argue with his wedding singer appearance, but
Yes, you can. But all right. Uh Great episode. Lot to talk about. And never forget these two movies ever.
yes,
I hope one day this one can like even get to somewhere. I hope people agree, but I don't think that'll happen as how people love this movie, but this movie deserves a lot. All right. Getting real Cleveland, everybody. Uh, God, what's next? Who knows? You know what's coming soon, though. The Odyssey. The
yeah.
Odyssey. All
Hey,
right.
we're both going to be in LA for it, but
I
at
know,
separate times.
dude. We're
So,
gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have an LA episode where Mike, we're gonna have to do that where we talk about our trip. But all right, that's Mr. Cleveland Film. Mike went. I'm Doug Duke. Say bye, Mike.
see you later.
You were supposed to say bye, Mike.
Okay.